athletes. I don't know,
Yeah.
Bo, you probably should get in it if you haven't. It's free.
What's that?
I can talk to you about it if you want to.
Yeah.
Uh, millions.co.
Oh well, I
Uh,
just ruined it, so
What'd
I
you
ain't gonna
what?
worry
ruin?
about it.
You broke it?
Well, I thought I could start streaming to Justin's channel and our channel, and then for some dumb reason, then think that I could then just spin up a stream and start with millions. But now I have to stop the streams and start all three together, and I don't feel like doing that. So
Okay. So the two are live. We're actually people can hear us on the other two.
yeah,
What was there?
well, Justin can check on his channel for me. You can pull it up. But as far
My
as I
channel.
know, as Lakeside says, we're all the way live.
All the way. That's the way I
Well, that's
like it.
good. Well, just
Do it.
that's fine. Just leave it where it is. And before we actually get into the show, so do you have the actual play, the 4th and 31, the middle throw, the big
I
digger?
have it on my computer. I do not have it queued up because it was like a minute and 30, and I know if I roll that whole clip, we're gonna get
Oh,
hit for it.
okay. Well, you're supposed to splice and do some stuff, but that's okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter because this is what we always do on Teague's Take, and I know we're in the pre-show and we're going to start the show in a minute, but I do need to give a quick shout out real fast because Consuela Teague is in the house tonight, and so is cousin Monica Goulet, who is a Teagster as well. Family. She is here all the way from out of the East Coast. She came on over here to come visit us and go to the Cowboys game tomorrow. So she is in the house at Lantern Street Grill and Tap House, uh, where she got to meet all my the locals up here and the friends. And I don't know. I have to make sure Consuelo doesn't get on the karaoke tonight because she does like to sing and do karaoke as well.
Mm.
But we got a great show for you guys today, right? We got two guests who you guys have already kind of seen already. We'll get to them in a minute. But we got to talk about this Auburn game, the Iron Bowl, what really happened there, how do we get into the playoffs, and was this the best ending ever, not just in the Iron Bowl, but in all sports history? I think we got some hot takes from our guests and see what that looks like. So let's go ahead and get this thing started right now. All right. Well, here we are. We are live out at the Lantern in Plano. If you guys are driving by doing something, please come on out. Check us out. All right. There's a lot that's going on with Teague's Take. We're growing. We've partnered up with the Bama Standard, who you can see that. We're so thankful for them and all that they allow us to do. It's really, really good. Don't forget about all the merchandise and things on Millions. If you need to be there, you can find us at teagstake.com. JT's posting things on there, got polls and all kind of stuff going on. And don't forget about our social media channels, Instagram and X at Teague's Take. Okay. So we got so much that we got to talk about tonight. I want to go ahead and jump straight into it because I think last time we went for about hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, and we're trying to get it done in an hour. We don't want to do that, if at all possible, because I run into the karaoke time, JT. So make sure we just start playing the music, man. If we start going long, we'll know
Okay,
we just
I got
gotta
you.
we gotta stop. So before we get going in, man, how was your day? How are my grandkids? How's the wife? Just give us something that I need to know about the family.
They're good. Theo had a fever yesterday because he went and got his flu shot. So he was fighting his little flu injection, but he's all good. Kids fine. They're asleep. So everybody's doing well.
Okay, well that's good, and I hope you're doing well too. And I hope my little man wasn't crying and screaming over there when he stuck that little needle in his arm.
No, apparently he took it like a champ. All the other times he cried and screamed, but the flu shot, he just kind of looked at the nurse and was like, "Are we done?"
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Runs in the family. Toughness, right? And we got a couple tough guys on our show tonight too, right? One is that's getting pounded. Bo Scarbrough is one of them. Man, he's just all world everything. I don't know if I could have really tackled him the way I wanted to. I don't know. I hit Martin Houston a little bit. Maybe one day me and Bo will have to talk about that, or who would actually win in the inside run drill. You know, if we actually matched up like that. I think I could have put a shoulder on him, JT.
Yeah, would you have kept that shoulder though? Because I don't know where I saw the clip at, but somebody had reposted his run against Washington in the playoff, and he like shook off like 4 dudes, and then ran away from another 4 more. So I don't know, man.
He from my era though. That's what I'm saying. We'll have that whole debate, maybe like that. We'll let him talk about some of these running plays. So make sure that you hang in with that. We got another tough one though, Justin Riley, right? Maybe we got to talk to him about what his favorite lift is. I don't know if he does only powerlifting type moves. I wonder if he does a snatch or a clean and jerk, or is it just deadlifts? The only thing I ever see him posting deadlifts. I don't know if that's a tough man move or not, but I don't like deadlifts. I don't know how you felt about deadlifts.
They're fine.
You were pretty good at hey sir, at the power clean though. I think at your 180-pound frame, you were power cleaning 260.
Well, when I got to Drake, we stopped doing so many power cleans. We were doing a lot of hang cleans, which I hated, but I learned to love them. So I maxed out at 330 on the hang clean in college.
That's ridiculously strong for a hang clean. And how much did you weigh?
185.
Yeah, 185 and hang clean and 330 is worthy of a lot of praise. So let's go ahead and bring them in.
Dude, look at these transitions. I'm just these are the camera's moving around. Like, man, who's the producer? They need to pay him more.
And this is good because so JT is our master producer here, and I don't know if we're on the new little system that we.
Oh yeah, we are.
Oh, then you get a lot of praise. You get a raise. All right, I'll send you $2 Venmo here right after the show. Well, let's go ahead and welcome in Justin Riley and Bo Scarbrough to the show. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so a few topics that we want to hit, right? But I just got to ask this, just because every time I talk about it, I need to know how y'all actually felt at the end of the game. What kind of emotions were y'all feeling at this game when you saw what happened on the 4th and 31? Were you guys just somber? Were you running around? Were you jumping up, acting a fool like everybody else? What really happened with you guys when you were Justin? You go first. What was your reaction to?
I've heard Bo's reaction, and you're going to enjoy his story a lot more than mine. It's more exciting and more entertaining. For me, I kind of felt like the whole world just stopped, and I couldn't hear a sound. Everything was just happening in slow motion, and I just couldn't believe what I saw. And the ball's in the air and just drops in Isaiah Bond's hands, lands on the ground, and that's it. It took me a minute just to let it register that we just caught the winning touchdown pass. And matter of fact, not only did we get the winning touchdown pass, we did it on the anniversary of the kick six that, and I don't know if anybody missed it. They only mentioned it 50 times during the whole broadcast.
Yeah.
But what a perfect ending to that game. And then also what a great way to finally end the talk of the kick six possibly being the greatest ending for an Iron Bowl history.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you, Bo?
Man, you may not believe it, but I actually called that out way before it happened.
What?
I'm watching the game with my boy Antoine Woods and Chris Covington, And do you remember the catch where they were trying to see did he catch it or not? And you can clearly see the green between his toe and the white. And
Yep.
we like they like they got that's a catch. They gonna give it to him. I'm like, listen, they gonna say it wasn't a catch. Some fluke gonna happen for us, and then they gonna turn around in Auburn favor. The ball gonna get snapped 30 yards back, and we gonna throw it up. I don't know who gonna catch it, but it gonna be a fluke touchdown, and we gonna win the game some type of way. And then like as I'm grabbing my stuff, it's 4th and 31, and I'm like, ain't no way in the hell that we can come back from this. So I'm like, I'm getting ready to go and that thing. I'm watching the last play, and he catches the ball. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, did he catch? Like, did he really catch that? I'm like, I said the replay, like, oh yeah, that's a touchdown. Like, we going like D boys not even Alabama fans, and they going crazy. They went to USC, Indiana.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's right.
so they going crazy as well because I called it before it even happened. So that's why I think that they was going crazy like that because I called it. It was just a crazy experience, man, for me to even be able to call that like that after like right before they didn't give up that catch when that guy clearly caught the ball in bounds to me. What do you think? Do you think he caught that ball in bounds?
Oh, he definitely caught the
oh,
ball in bounds.
Yes.
Yeah, it was clearly in bounds.
I told them, I told them way before, I said they is not gonna give us this catch. I said they're not gonna give it to us. And they like, Bo, is clearly. And I'm saying, dude, we are in Auburn. I played in this game. I've been watching this game for years. I know it. Come out, they didn't give it to us. They like, couldn't believe it. You know what I mean?
and the crazy thing, George, earlier that week, he called it. He gave a little precursor to this in his take on our show. And I'm sitting there hearing this. I'm like, what in the? And then our guest was Jason McCadley, 1999 SEC champion wide receiver from Alabama. He said, look, this game's going to be a lot closer than what people want it to be. Y'all going to be uncomfortable. But we're going to win. That coupled with what Bo said, good grief, man. My anxiety level was way up. I had to call in a prescription. Speaking of calls, Bo, did you call Vegas before you did all that and capitalize off of that take? Because, man.
I wish I would have. I would be not on this tape.
Yeah, I know, man. Shoot, it's just crazy, bro. What about you, JT? Would you have a chance to watch it, or you didn't throw my baby across the room and never laid down?
No, okay. So let me. I got to give you all the context because there was a lot of things happening. So I'm in New Albany, Mississippi.
On purpose?
Yes.
They had a nice backyard, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And did we lose Bo? Where'd Bo go?
Nope.
Is that all you paid him for?
Yeah, I know.
He's back. All right. So I'm in New Albany, Mississippi, right? And kids are running around acting fool. It's getting close to bedtime, right? And they're just hyper. Delirium has already set in these children. They're running up and down in the living room. Emily is trying to pack some bags together so I can take them out to the car. And I'm watching the game, and I'm on an emotional roller coaster, right? Because I was already like super upset the first time that Jalen Milroe had run past the line of scrimmage and threw the ball.
Yeah.
And then the one where Auburn sent the guy in motion, and then they did the shift, and Alabama jumped off sides, and they threw the flag, and I was like, ain't no way that's offside. Like,
it wasn't offside.
I'm sitting on the couch. That was the first time, I usually just kind of sit back and just watch the game, and like whatever happens. I'm usually not as invested as I used to be, but I got off the couch mad and just like walked into the kitchen, and I was like, really? Like, do we not know the rules that you can't snap the ball with three guys in motion? So I'm mad about that. Then the catch that was a no catch, and then the muff punt. So I'm already like, what? Here, I'm gonna use another SAT word for you guys. What serendipity that he muffs a punt. They put the backup punt returner in. He muffs the punt. We get the ball back, get the ball like on the 6 or whatever, and then snap goes back past Milroe, And I quite literally said, am I watching Alabama or am I watching the Cowboys? I don't know.
Don't be spitting up your drink over there, Justin.
I can't, man.
I don't know whose red zone offense is this. I've seen this from Jalen Milroe and Seth McLaughlin way too many times. This snap just like I don't know what's going on. So I'm upset about that. And then the next play, he is indecisive again, runs past the line of scrimmage, and I think he knew because then he tries to back up.
Backpedaling,
Yeah.
And I was like,
hop back.
what is happening? Like this is not the Alabama that I've been seeing all year. This is crazy. So 4th and 31, and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm watching it. I was trying to just hold myself together because I wasn't watching it in my house. Like I don't know that I would turn the game off, but I felt like turning the game off at 4th and 31. And then when he threw the ball, one, I didn't expect it to be one-on-one. I expected a crowd. I was like, I don't know. Who knows what could happen? Tip, whatever. And then once he caught it, I threw my hands up like this. I didn't say anything. And Emily's uncle was like, son, it seems like you're going to need some whiskey after this one just so you can get
Yeah, man, that is exactly what I had because I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, somebody got to pour me a drink because I don't know what the hell just happened here.
So I went from excitement and elation to also disgust because I was like, it shouldn't have even. I was disgusted just in all facets of like, I can't believe that we had to win the game like this. And although it's Auburn and I do not feel bad for them whatsoever, I was also just disgusted, like as a defensive coach, that is something that could even happen. And I made the mistake. Did anybody else watch the end of the Iowa-Nebraska game earlier that day?
No.
Well, kind of the same deal of just like Iowa's offense sucks so bad. They threw a terrible interception to end the game. And then the next play, Nebraska throws it right back to a linebacker who runs it back into field goal range. And then they put the backup kicker in because the other kicker got 2 kicks blocked. And I was like, I turned that game off because I was mad watching us. This is just disgusting football. And then I wanted to turn off the Alabama game because that was disgusting as well. God. So just every emotion that you could have.
You had a bad Thanksgiving weekend.
I was going through it.
Kidding, man. You like this trickle down effect.
Well, hopefully you have some good Southern food.
Yes.
You know those main things. So what you guys saying that, right? And because of the way it ended, all the emotion that you had, how do you guys feel about that when ranking the best endings of games? Not just in Alabama history, but how does this rank compared to all endings, right? I'm going to start with Justin Riley because I know he always does his research. That's why you always need to listen to the Bama Standard.
Yeah.
You know, it is amazing. If you're listening to this on the recorded piece and you've downloaded the episode, make sure, one, you go back and watch ours on Teague's Take podcast on YouTube. But you need to check out Justin Riley and the Bama Standard Network. Okay, they got a lot of great shows on there. It is great with a lot of content. So make sure you do that. All right. So Justin, what do you think about this? How do you give us what you're thinking about the ending of this game?
You know, it's really hard to be able to give an answer without taking my crimson colored glasses off. You know, so much emotion invested in this game, like you said. So I actually came up with 2 lists. One, you know, the greatest of all time. First and foremost, I have to go with 2nd and 26. Tua Tagovailoa hitting Devontae Smith for that game-winning touchdown catch.
Hold on. Are you going 4-1 or are you going 1-4?
Going 1. I got 1 to. Well, I got 1 to 5 actually.
Okay.
So this is overall. So yeah, 2nd 26. Now it might sound like a homer, but you know what? It's my list. I don't care. Yeah, that's number 1. And just below that, you know, you have to remember the 2005 Rose Bowl. Vince Young scoring that winning touchdown to lift Texas over USC. 26 seconds left to play. National championship on the line. He doesn't get any bigger than that. A lot of emotion there. And then one that didn't quite have the implications of a national championship, but you can't forget about it. 2007 Fiesta Bowl. I don't know if you guys remember that. The Statue of
Statue of
Liberty
Liberty.
play to Ian
That's
Johnson
freaking
in
awesome.
overtime. Yeah. I mean, I was trying to go to sleep. I was like, I got to be at work the next morning, but I couldn't turn the TV off. And if I'm going to stay up late, it had to count for something. And that definitely lived up to the billing. And then I had to throw in some basketball. We talked a little bit in the pre-show. Michael Jordan. You can't say great moments without mentioning Michael Jordan. 1998 NBA Finals, Game 6. Michael Jordan steals the ball from Karl Malone, hits that winning jumper with 18.9 seconds left to play. Bulls win the series. That's his last game in a Bulls uniform. Man, I can't write a storybook ending better than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and George, you did mention the Miami Miracle, Doug Flutie Hail Mary play. That's number 6. But number 5, I got to put this game in here just because of just how perfect of an ending it was. The the anniversary of the kick 6. They talked about it every 5 minutes. If it was a drinking game, everybody would have been dead. The best part about it was you could just hear the utter disdain and the disgust emanating from Gary Danielson when that happened, because he doesn't like Alabama. So I enjoyed just seeing him eat crow and just live through that moment. And I'm sure he is hoping for a little get back this weekend. Hopefully we won't give that to him at all. But
Right.
that's my top 5. If I was to go a little bit further, I have to go with Kurt Angle winning the Olympic gold medal 1996 Olympics with a broken neck. But like I said, I have 2 lists. Top Iron Bowls. Yeah, this is number 1. Number 2, right behind it, we saw it 2 years ago, 2021 Iron Bowl. Alabama wins in 4 overtimes. Hard to top that. And then I go a little bit further down the line, 1996 Iron Bowl. Dennis Riddle, that throw from Freddie Kitchens, scores the game winner there. 2014 Iron Bowl. Man, Blake Sims threw 4 or 5 interceptions. We were down to Auburn late. He managed to bring us back, have one of the greatest innings in Iron Bowl history and for his career. And number 5, I can't leave out the 2009 Iron Bowl. Roy Upchurch with that game winner.
Man,
That's the way I see it. So, B,
I like
y'all take what you will.
That's a great list, except for you didn't put me in it. So
Bo, like my dad once told me, it's not all about you, son.
no,
I'm just kidding.
I at least thought, since we are, co-workers, I at least thought you
I'm
would have
trying to be impartial,
a little
sir.
bit of
Yeah, honorable mention or something, Justin. I mean,
Yeah,
dang.
Oh, we had the longest touchdown run in Alabama Bowl history. Come on, that
See?
ain't one of your favorite.
It's like I'm
You
going to have
know,
to give Bo a little bit more.
JT just talked about it in the previews before we came
He
on.
did. Man,
But nah, I'm just joking with you. I'm just joking with you.
nah, Justin a hater. You can go ahead and say it.
I am.
No, man, true. No.
I'm from Mississippi. I'm very envious of everybody else.
No. Well, do y'all have anything to add to that?
I do, because I think there's some that he missed.
I
All
do
right.
too. I do too. I have something to add as well.
Let's let JT go. You go first.
Okay, you're not gonna like some of them, because I am going to actively take off my crimson colored glasses, because as much as we hate it, the kick 6 was one of the greatest endings to a football game. We just happened to be on the wrong end of it. That sucks. The other one, Georgia Tech did the same thing. They blocked a kick. Well, they actually blocked a kick and ran it back and won the game. I forget who it was.
Florida State.
But that was another great one. Oh, we've actually lost George. He's gone. He's not in there.
His minutes run out. This is a segment brought to you by Boost Mobile.
Hey, you remember those commercials? The where's my dots? The
Yes.
So I'll wait till he comes back, because there's a few on there. I think there's some. I've got a basketball one on there.
I got a basketball one too.
And actually, since you guys are here, I don't even think he's gonna remember. But Game 6, Ray Allen with the Heat. That's just one of the ones that I remember where I was. I remember being in the hotel room doing bed check, open the door, and the kids are watching the game, and I'm watching. It was that's gonna be up there for me. But I can't believe that you didn't mention Terrence Cody's block against
Oh
Tennessee.
man, I'm ashamed. A lot of shame coming right here. Dang.
That's one of those calls that, as much as I hate Gary Danielson and Vern, but
Right.
Vern's call of that particular play was it still gives me chills when I see that one.
Well, like I said, I was trying to be objective and take my crimson colored glasses off as much as possible. So
Well,
I was able to get a little bit in there, but I wanted to have others in there just to show that, hey, I can be objective somewhat.
All right. Well, before I continue, Bo, which other ones are we missing here?
We're missing the Julio Jones against LSU at home, which is a big time one. We are missing the Derrick Henry one down there in Auburn when he rushed for 200 yards on them.
Yeah, that was a 41 carry game.
There was a 4-1 carry game, and we're also missing I love their play so much. George Teague in the championship game against Miami. The script. And what gets me is that when I first had George Teague on my show, that the guys that could play at Alabama didn't know who he was, and I'm like, how could you play for Alabama and don't know who George Teague is?
Really?
You know what I mean? I know who George Teague was when I was 10 years old. You know.
I mean,
You know
your
what
first
I mean?
time you step foot in the Bryant Museum, I mean, you're met with it. How?
Every time I played Little League football, I'm trying to script it like him. You know.
So speaking of which, there's other ones that I think would go down in college football. Obviously, Antonio Langham's pick six in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
And how fitting to mention that this is the last year that the East and West divisions, and who wins the West for the last time? The team that started it all.
And JT, I got this one too. The LeBron James block against Golden State.
Yes.
In the 3-0 run that they had to come back and win.
Yeah, and Kyrie shot at the end.
Yeah, they came back from a 1-3 lead by Golden State, and they came back and won 3 games straight, and that block put them over the top to win that game. And I'm also throw myself in there with my 6 to 8 yard run against Washington. You know,
Yes, sir.
Great play, but that wasn't a game winner. That was you was already winning.
I'm just messing with that.
That's okay. I'll give you a little bit more of the payout this month, Bo.
And then I got to throw in the band is on the field. I mean, that one.
Yeah.
Anytime you can truck a dude holding a tuba.
And hit him in the top of the head with the football. I think then he spiked the ball on the band member's hand. I mean, come on. All right, look. I know I'm sorry I missed some of y'all, but
last one though. Duke Miami. the lateral.
Yeah,
that probably shouldn't have counted, but
it was crazy.
If y'all want to go that far, Kenyon Drake with the Patriots with the toss.
Yes. Yes.
Come on now. If y'all don't do that, don't want to go that far, don't do that.
Hey, JT, if you go mention Duke, we got to talk about Duke basketball. Christian Laettner, that shot against Kentucky in the Elite Eight. That was before your time, but George and I remember that play.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's Villanova in their game, but then there's 2 I got to give. I'm trying to be objective. I got to give Auburn another one when they played Georgia. That one that bounced off of the back of Georgia's head or whatever, and they won that game. I was sick. I was heated. I was mad, but
all right. I think y'all have talked about every game.
Really every game. And don't forget about Hulk Hogan slamming Andre Giant WrestleMania 3.
I don't know if y'all hit
Undertaker off the top of the cell.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. So now you better get Justin Hype for real.
Oh, I'm ready. If you're gonna put WWE in this, man, I can go for days.
RKO's out of nowhere.
Of course, all of them.
Maybe we'll have that discussion too. What you consider that a sport.
Well, George, you were part of the NWO. You should be able to answer that.
I was, man. Hey, I don't want to do what they're doing. Anyway, all right. Look, because we got to talk about this, and I know we're going to start running into these films because we had like 4 running plays. We might not be able to get to all of them, but I think that everyone needs to hear about what you guys think about the playoff scenario. Okay, so I want to give you before you do that, I want to ask you some pointed questions.
Okay.
They're yes or no or whatever before you start telling me how Bama can get in. Okay. Now,
Okay.
all right. So y'all do with this, and this they should be yes or no. And I know how JT is. He goes, well, hold on. It might be anything. I just need you to just
And he sounds just like that.
Nah, it's all like
hold
that.
on.
Y'all tripping. Nah, stop.
He got to put it in what is that thing called? Chat GPT.
Yeah,
CG.
chat
Yeah.
jippity.
Yeah, you got to put it in there and figure it out. Okay, so my first question: is there any way? Do you see any way that Ohio State can get in? I'm not asking you for the scenario. Is there a way, with them being number 6, is there a way in your studies and your thoughts that Ohio State could get in? Bo.
No.
All right, Justin.
Yes. Because
Yes.
Wait,
go ahead.
no,
Oh, sorry.
don't
You say yes or no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. I broke the
Yes.
rules.
Okay, and I'm saying yes too. We can talk about that in a minute. All right, so the second one, you gotta pay attention now. If Washington, let's assume this is assuming Bama doesn't win. Okay, just go with these scenarios. Bama lost the game.
Okay,
Okay.
if you're saying in Bama, you should have said that from the beginning.
Well, no, this is a new set of questions now.
Okay.
Oh, this is a
If,
new set of
if Bama, there's 2 more questions. So in these 2, if Bama doesn't win, which we know we want to win, but if it doesn't, and if Washington wins, Texas wins, and FSU wins, does that make Texas a lock? So Washington wins, they're number 3. FSU wins, Florida State, they're number 4. Texas wins. Do they bump Ohio State? Essentially, what I'm saying, and how far does Oregon go down? So is Texas in that scenario? Bama lost, Washington wins, Texas wins, Florida State's wins. Is Texas a lock?
No.
So yes or no? Okay, JT says no. Justin,
Oh, they don't get in. I say Ohio State gets in. Just strength of schedule.
okay. Bo, you got a thought?
I say yeah.
Okay. All right. The next one. Again, Bama lost. Oregon beats Washington, and Florida State wins. Is Oregon a lock?
Yes.
Yes.
Florida State wins. Oregon wins. That make Oregon a lock.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is what Bama losing. All right. So now let's get into the other piece.
I didn't get my answer.
Oh, my bad.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
This is
Bo?
the guy. This is the guy who ran 60 yards against Washington. You just leave him out of the conversation. Damn.
I sure hope this is a no then. Just for clarity. What do you say, Bo?
Get what it is again.
All right, Bama lost.
Bama lost.
Oregon, who's ranked number 5, beats Washington, who's number 3. And Florida State wins. Does that make Oregon a lock? Do they get into the top 4?
No.
Okay, because I didn't know I didn't put Michigan and all there in there because I don't want to make it too long.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get into this piece with this scenario. So what has to happen then for Bama sitting at 8? Thinking about how you saying if Ohio State can get in, all these other scenarios, are you guys still on the side that? Well, let me go with this. We all know if 1, 2, 3, 4 win, it's over, right? They're in. So any of them lose, I'm sorry. If 2, 3, and 4 win, but we beat Georgia, are we in?
No.
Who said that? Okay, JT said no.
Logic says if we beat the number one team in the country, we go in. But right now, we're not dealing with a logical committee, so I'm going to say no.
I would say if we beat them by 2 touchdowns, we get in.
Yeah. Okay. That caveat, yes, absolutely.
Okay, and it doesn't matter what happens with Texas at that point.
No,
We beat Georgia and Texas wins. Say they blow out Oklahoma and we blow out Georgia.
I think if we beat them by 2 TDs and Texas loses, we get in.
Even if Texas doesn't
Even
lose.
if Michigan, Washington, and Florida State win.
Even if Michigan, Washington, and Florida State wins?
Yes. 2, 3, and 4 win. We beat Georgia.
I think we get in. I think we get in at 4.
Even if Texas wins.
It depends on how bad Texas beat Oklahoma
State.
or State.
Oh yeah, sorry, Oklahoma State. Okay.
I think if Texas and Oklahoma State have a close game and we beat Georgia at least by a touchdown or 2, we get in. But if we have a 3.4 point game, I think that they put Texas over because Texas got that win over.
Yeah.
All right.
And I still think they ain't gonna find a way to put Georgia in it.
Even if we beat them?
Even if we beat them. Just like they did us back in 2016. We didn't even go to the SEC championship and we still got in.
Are they better than and this is I've been hearing this comment about doing what's right versus finding the best 4 teams. So in your scenario, you're saying if Oregon, no. Yeah, if Oregon, no, it won't even matter. If Oregon beats Washington and we beat Georgia, you're saying, Bo, Oregon don't get in, Georgia drops down 2 spots, 3 spots.
If Georgia beat us.
No.
What you saying?
No, he's saying if Georgia loses.
It loses.
If Georgia loses
and Washington loses.
And I think that Georgia would get that spot because of what Georgia has been doing. You know what I'm saying? And then we come in and beat them by 2 touchdowns. And this is the number 1 team in the country. We come in and beat them by 2 touchdowns, the number 1 team in the country, who they've been at least beating everybody by 2 touchdowns or more, who Missouri screwed up on, who could have beat them. It's another team that screwed up on who should have beat them, who Georgia should have blew out from the beginning of the game. I think that with us beating them by 2 touchdowns and playing them physical, the way that Georgia and Alabama play, and we beat them by 2 touchdowns, and Texas barely beat Oklahoma State, and Florida State loses. I think that Bama get in at 4. They drop Georgia down to 2, move Michigan, and Michigan win, move Michigan up to 1, and who else we have?
The winner of Washington and Oregon, you're saying is
the winner of Washington, Oregon is in.
Right.
Yeah.
Period.
They're in.
That's what I'm saying. And that's my scenario right there. If we beat Georgia by 2 TDs, by a touchdown, by 10 points or more, and Texas barely beats Oklahoma State, and the winner of Florida State and Oregon automatic gets in. I think Michigan jumped to 2. The winner of Washington and Oregon State. I mean, Michigan jumped to 1. The winner of Oregon State and the winner of Oregon and Florida State go to 2. Georgia go to 3, and we fall in at number 4.
Man, for y'all that's listening to this on the
that's a lot to grasp.
It makes me scratch my doggone head because
here's another wrench. Here's another wrench, George. What if Oregon beats Washington, but it's a classic? It comes down to the very end. Oregon wins by 1 point or a field goal in overtime, something like that. Can you see the committee putting both Oregon and Washington in?
No.
Man, I was just getting ready to say that because why?
And people think I'm crazy for even suggesting this. That's a reality.
But those you looking at, so now you're gonna go and put two teams in who have been played 2 games that have been close together, 2 and 3 point versus
The
a team that is #1 in the country and a team that is #8 in the country comes in and beat them by 10 points or more. The #1 team in the country who have won 30 straight games.
the
Well,
only
I don't say
way
I agree with it, Bo. But I'm just thinking that the committee is not being logical right now. And honestly, they're
Committee-
looking for a reason to keep Alabama out.
need to keep
Logic tells you put them in.
because if you bring that West Coast team over here to these SEC teams and the Big Ten teams are like a physical team like Michigan, someone who is physical offense and defense, is not gonna be a game. It's gonna be a team that's gonna get Michigan from the West Coast, Washington or Oregon, who they're not going to be able to start running the ball, who going to be able to run and throw on them. I don't think they want to see that because that game going to turn into a blowout when we can rewind all the way back to when Georgia played who they played in the Rose Bowl and they blew out.
TCU last year.
TCU. I think it was a couple of years ago.
Oh, a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Nah,
Okay,
when they played in the
Michigan.
Rose Bowl, that was against Oklahoma, and that game was a
Oklahoma,
classic.
Yeah.
yeah.
JT, I'm gonna give JT the last word on this part and I'm just sitting here laughing because it is confusing. I see I don't know how you say the person's name, VLA vet says I'm confused. Yeah, because it is
Here's
no one
here it
knows.
is in a
If you're
nutshell.
confused, you're not watching this. You're not watching
Here-
Alabama moves.
Here's the most.
I don't see how clear that we can get from telling you that if Alabama beat Georgia by more than 7 points, that we can possibly get in. If Oregon and Washington play a close game, or whoever win that game would get in. Georgia go to #3, one.
Hey, first of all, Bo said we, and I think he's the only one that said that. so
What y'all saying is confusing me.
Well, here's my answer. It's not confusing at all. We need Florida State and Oregon to lose. That's it.
I
But
don't
that
agree
way-
with you.
Scenario
You
agree
don't
with you.
agree with me.
that can possibly
You need
as long as we win.
yes,
Yeah,
you
we
need a
have to
win.
win.
You
But then
need Florida State and Texas.
to lose.
That's who you need Texas to lose.
What did you say? You say you need Florida State to lose.
and
Oregon to
And
lose.
Texas.
He didn't say
Yeah.
anything about Oregon.
You need
or
Oregon to lose because
Washington to
that's who they want in right now. That's their baby. That's their flavor of the week.
See, but that
They're-
gets back there. Let me go. So that gets me back into: is Ohio State really insignificant? As
The
long
only
as
way
we win?
Ohio State gets in is if Michigan, Georgia, Florida State, and Washington all lose. If all of the top 4 lose,
I don't
They
trust
get
the
in.
committee.
I
I can see
figured-
them doing it.
I figured they would get. Well, yeah, I think that's one scenario. But I figured if Texas lost, Michigan lost, Florida State lost, and then if we lost, I mean that's the only way. There's got to be a whole lot of people lose.
right?
I don't even know
Because
why
at
they
the end
put
of the
them in
day,
six.
because at the end of the day,
They ain't
If-
playing.
yeah, right, they're not playing. So just for argument's sake, everybody wins. They're the only team that's not a conference champion.
Yes.
But dude, with the top 4 teams being undefeated, and one of them loses, do you still think they put them in?
Well, I don't know. That depends. Like you said, are they thinking straight on how much does them beating us
You can,
count?
I think you can tell
Because
with the
they will be
committee,
a
you can always
conference
tell kind of what they're thinking based on this current ranking right now, where they are. You know what
So
I'm
they're
saying?
thinking Texas. So you're saying they're thinking Texas is ahead of us.
Yes,
If they win the championship, and even though we win,
you
they're gonna put
have
them in
to.
with
Alabama
1-1
has to
spot.
beat Georgia convincingly, like wire to wire. There is no doubt that Alabama is better
That's
than
why
Georgia.
And that's why I said 10 points or more.
I think it has to be more than 10 points. I think it has to be more than 10 points.
That's why I
You
said
think so?
2 touchdowns. I also said 2 touchdowns.
even if they're with us being an underdog by 5 or 6 points. But anyway, okay, well, because we could do this forever. It's 9 o'clock, and I need to get to a little bit of the film because we're not going to be able to get it unless we just rush through all this kind of stuff. Are y'all okay with that? Because I didn't get to the Bama wins, if in Georgia. Let's not do it because the longer I go in here, JT knows. So y'all can just click off and get out. I got to worry about our karaoke group and them telling me get your damn table out of the way. And you know what I'm saying?
I think
So.
John Davis is spot on here. Or the Oregon-Washington game doesn't matter. That's their first playoff game right here.
Okay, I'm down with that. If you're saying it's insignificant. Here's the problem. My last little piece on this, and I hate that this happened this way because, first of all, Texas plays at 11, right? Maybe that's good or bad. If they go ahead and if they were to lose, we already got a little bit of stuff. But they put the Michigan, Iowa, Washington. 3 of the games are at 7 o'clock. Now, why in the heck would they do that? Does put all them games there? I guess they're just forcing you to be in tune all night. We play at 3.
Well, it's because one of them's not a game. Iowa didn't even have an offense.
I think Florida State's going to lose.
You think Florida State's going to lose?
I think Florida State's going to lose.
To the team that couldn't beat Kentucky at home?
It don't matter.
Don't give me that. No.
Florida State doesn't have that quarterback.
For the upset.
Florida State has barely escaped a lot of teams they should have beat soundly, and that was with Jordan Travis. They're down to their third string quarterback at this point. Crazy things have happened, but I'm just going on the eye test right now.
All right. So let's, Justin, you make sure you hang out with us, okay? I think we interrupt you in because Bo said so for you to get your $2 too. So,
okay. Well, then you have to let me do some live editing on the fly.
We'll be
so
all right.
if you're on the recorded podcast, hey, catch us on YouTube because we're about to get into some film. With that said, since we're running out of time, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit this stop recording button right now. See you guys. All right. So live recording, since we're about to have 4 people in the I gotta bring Justin back.
You gotta throw him down there in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
See, some people wanna put the race card on you. Why you kick out this whole
man, you this ain't on me.
I'm just saying, you ain't pick Bo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now, Justin.
I'm about to go outside and march now.
That's right. Look at it. He put you behind Bo. I see. That's funny. Man.
That's good. He need to put Justin behind me. Boom. Man,
Yes,
to make this work.
Anyway, well, it's got a
Bama standard.
All right, so play 1.
This is not play 1. Play 1. 1 second.
I was gonna get mad if I watched that play again. Dang.
Well, we're gonna talk about it. All right. I'm going back through to play 1 is what JT's gonna set up is basically a simple zone play. All right, but I do think all right, stop right there first. So the first thing we need to look at with this play, right? And we've talked about this multiple times, how much unbalanced that we actually use. Who's eligible, who is it? This is another one of those situations where they're doing that. JT, I don't know if your pen works or not.
It does.
Just let me know. Okay, so just looking at the receivers at the bottom, you still have 2 guys on the line of scrimmage, right? So one of them is not eligible. It's insignificant to this play, but you got an uncovered tackle on the other side, wing back, right? He originally started on the other side of the ball. You'll see that once it comes. So there was actually 4 down here to this side, and then they moved him, okay? So I needed everyone to see that because when you start talking about how you make adjustments on defense, what put people at, considering you got a running quarterback, you got a tailback that can run the ball that way. you got these guys down here. So there's a lot of thought processes you got to have on defense, right, JT? I'm saying that to you as a defensive coordinator. Now you're trying to figure this out. Okay, so what ends up happening, if JT can go ahead and show the play, we want to get Bo's take on this once it actually starts. I think it goes back. Yeah. So Bo, you call this we would call this a split zone. Is that what terminology you use? All the linemen are going to the right. What is the tight end actually comes back to the left?
Yeah,
Would I be right on the terminology there?
I would call in my terminology, I would call that a split zone because of the tight end is coming back across for that unblocked guy, and you just have, and you can also read this play like an outside zone, but you're looking to hit this play inside.
Okay, so we will go into that. And Justin, you feel free to ask any questions you want to jump into it too. I mean, me and
Justin's
JT.
got to leave us, so he's going to be dropping off here.
All right, that's cool.
I do. I appreciate y'all for having me on. I enjoyed it,
Yep.
guys. I hate that we didn't get a chance to talk about the game itself. Maybe we can reconvene at another time for that.
We can do something. We can do something. That's for sure. Appreciate you very much
Yes,
for all
sir. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, so Bo, when we're talking about this, can you talk to because you just said about I think you said that you're really trying to hit it inside or so just talk about your aiming point with this as a running back. What are you looking at? Where are you trying to go
Can you get?
first?
Can I get that? Can I get that back view so they can understand?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
snap
JT, I got your
off
message. If I fall off,
right there.
hold on a second, Bo. I'm just saying to you guys, yeah, I'm going to apologize right now if my computer dies. It's just because I don't have my battery cord. So
All right, well, we'll
anyway,
finish it.
there we go.
Oh,
All right.
you can pause it right here.
All
So
right.
I think with the center being covered, to me this looked like a odd front uh with a stand up outside linebacker, which we call that a jack in our
Mhm.
terminology. And I think that Jace McCullen Reed is this nose guard right here, and I think his second read is off of 81 because can you run the play for me?
Yeah, 81's going to go behind the line of scrimmage or behind the lineman.
And you stop now immediately. As soon as he get the ball and he see that he driven that guy back, now his eyes goes right to 81. Play the play the ball, play this play. Boom, go back.
Oh, that
Can
was
you
a short clip, wasn't it?
Yeah, they started putting a lot of stuff on the
can you go
screen.
back? Yeah, and
They
press
only showed. I'm sorry, they only showed the full
go
play
back.
on the white. I had to cut it off there.
Yeah, I mean, you could play it right here. I can do it from right here.
All right.
Stop. And you can see that his eyes immediately go towards 81 and read an 81 block. If 81 block get over the top, I think that he would try to shred that. What I mean by shred is the running back staying tight off of his block because of he has a hangman, which is outside right here. I wish I had a pointer like JT got, which is right there. What JT just drew up because of I think that he can split that guy right there because right now he to me he has all his power outside and I think by the time Jace make run the play.
Okay, let me get this, and it's gonna be quick now.
You
There's
play to stop it real quick.
all right. Let me see if I can just.
Boom, stop. Now you see how Jace is on, go back. You see a little bit more
A little bit more.
there.
Yeah.
Now, you see Jace is in his inside hip pocket because of how his body is turned, and the running back is taught to go off the puller ass. Excuse my language. And if you run the play,
Just a tad bit.
and that's all that he needed to squeeze in between the tackle. That's what they call running between the tackle and getting skinny. And that's what he did, ran between the tackle and the puller, the Y coming across, and he got skinny, which is I think that he did a great job at because if you're looking at 81 block, if you take away that outside guy, that really is a two-way go. If
Mhm.
you is hitting his block, but with that Heyman right there outside, they tell Jace that he need to get skinny and get what he can get, and those are the tough yards that I talk about, the 2 and 3 and 5 yards that you get.
Hey, I got a question, Bo. With your size, were you ever able to get skinny, or is it just?
Oh yeah, you gotta go back. Hey, you gotta go back and watch. Go back and watch the game and watch me get skinny.
Okay, all right. So this play too. This is actually an Auburn running play. Okay, so one of the things that we're trying to do is really trying to educate people, right? And you say, why are we talking about them? Because some of this is on the defense. We need to talk about that, but it's really because we got Bo here. We really want people to really understand the running game and how this affects you, because this is this play design to me is cool, I guess, if I'm just being a fan, looking at this and trying to figure out, well, okay, JT, if you saw a play like this, what does it look like? All right. So just to set the stage, you got the quick motion coming across the field. That makes you think one thing as a linebacker, but you got the pullers going the same way as the motion guy. So,
Excuse me, George, but what I think that Hugh Freeze is doing right here is trying to out leverage the defense with the guys he got pulling, and he have a lead blocker, which is somewhat like the play that we used to run with Kenyon Drake and Derrick Henry when we had Kenyon Drake on the toss sweep. This is just doing the sweep with the running back. It's just a handoff
just
instead
handing
of
it to him.
instead of the running back leading, the receiver is leading, and you have two pullers to come around to get the two guys that is to me it looked like they pulling up for that out for this linebacker right here, that first linebacker to our side. It looked like
Yep.
those two guys is pulling up for him, and this outside guy right here, and that this leading blocker is gonna be his lead guy, and he gonna get the first thing that shows. And this receiver right here, he can either run him off, or he can block him. And the best thing for the receiver to do in this situation, if they a man, especially Terry Honor, a guy who likes to play man, I would try to run him off because he's a guy that has confidence and he don't want to give up anything. So if I was that receiver, that guy, I would run Terry Honor off and leave six down for this safety that coming down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
think there's
let, let,
a
let,
I,
let them see the play,
okay.
because they haven't actually seen it. Then we can go back and kind of talk about what's happening here. You can talk through it, JT, if you want. So you see pullers in the block. Okay. So,
So
all right.
I think that they're actually running two plays here. Whether or not it's a read, I'm not sure. My guess is they probably, like Bo said, they're looking to see like where's the leverage at, and they get to the line and the quarterback's making a decision, because I think what they're actually doing is I think they're actually just running.
The
Um,
sweep,
they're running the sweep,
outside zone or sweep, whatever way.
And
Well,
I
can't,
also
I
think
guess.
that, and
but
I also,
these guards up here, they're running counter or trap.
exactly,
So I
Yes.
think it's actually
two
Peyton.
plays.
Yeah, Peyton Thorne can keep this and run counter if he wants to.
And not mean to cut you out, JT. And I think that he only gave this ball because that defensive end squares so much.
Mm-hmm.
He squares so much that as soon as the puller came around, that was his first guy to get, and that left the other guy to turn inside, which made them lose a blocker that's on the outside.
Okay. So what would you would call it? So now I feel like we need to, because someone in the chat was talking about, hey, it looks like RPO and one things. To me,
Well, that was
it's
the
not a.
last play.
Oh yeah. But this is, so what I'm seeing is, like you said, two plays. It's like two running plays. So
Mhm.
typically there's a run and a pass option. This is like a run option and another run option. So I don't know what we start calling this. Maybe there's some kind of terminology
No,
out
they
there, because
do.
I
I mean,
do
it's
it.
It's
Okay,
option.
so what would you go back to the
Triple option. We got a triple option here, or
go back to the beginning of the play? So what would you say if this defensive end just stayed and contained? Then what would you do?
he's saying quarterback's going to keep the ball and run
Exactly.
behind the pullers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My point exactly, because they is the way how they blocking is to kick this guy out, and the second blocker is turning up for the quarterback. In my assumption, and this lead blocker is for the running back.
Yes.
So we'll is there a back angle? I think there's a back angle to this.
No, tight angle.
Oh, the tight angle. Okay. So I just wanted them to see this because there's a lot of things on defense you can look at too. Really, JT.
Well, let's keep moving because we got 2 plays left.
That's right. So all right, we're gonna go to the next one. Okay, so I wanted to put this one here just because I think it's so unique. To me, it's again not the same play, but it's the same type thing. It seems like there's 2 running plays going on here. And I don't know if you guys agree, right? But I see you got your guys on the left side of the line going to reach, and then you got pullers going the other way. So Jalen Milroe could actually go out to the right, or he can pitch it.
I don't think since this has been a toss and it counts as a pass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is a 2. I don't think this is a 2-play play.
I think this is straight misdirection.
And this is a straight misdirection just to confuse the defensive lineman, to freeze them for a minute, to get to freeze the linebackers as well, to get Jace McCullough out. I don't know if they can cut these guys now, but if Jace McCullough get his block, I think that ball hit for a big chunk of yards.
Yeah, he missed that. We'll talk about that. And I do agree with you guys. I don't think this is a design run for him. But off of that action, he could easily fake the ball to Kendrick Law and take off behind those 2 guys because they're actually blocked.
Can you go back to the beginning?
Because they actually end up getting the 2. They actually end up getting the pullers. Actually end up taking the 2 backers or the safety and the backer. If you go up just a little bit forward, we'll run it back, but go ahead and go up. You can actually see JT run it forward just a tad bit. Right, we got a blocker for that other guy because the other guy's chasing. So, I mean, you got different ways. But anyway, okay, go ahead, Bo.
And can you go to the back view?
Yep.
And I think that if Jace McCullough alignment, if he straddled that inside leg of that tackle, I think that he'll make that block by him straddling the outside leg of the guard, and that get the receiver so close up on him. I think that's why he didn't get his block. I think that his alignment messed him up on this. I could be wrong, but far as my understanding, if he cheated out just a little tad bit, he'll be farther than he is right now, and that receiver will be able to keep his speed.
Okay. No, thank you for that. That's a good point. Just from the defensive standpoint, JT, I think this type of play put those linebackers in big conflict because you got pullers going one way, and you can see. And you just said, hey, or a few times earlier, go back and check some of the stuff that we put out. That typically when a linebacker sees a gap open, you're telling them to take it. So the backer to the bottom here is actually running into the gap where the puller's left.
Yeah,
but it's an outside run. So
yeah. So this is
screwed.
Corner does a great job here. And I would say, hey, at the end of the day, when you draw us up on the board, we're saying he's gonna block this guy. I'm telling my safety, you're the guy that's got to get down here and make this play. And if you don't make it, nobody's making it.
And that's why I think that if Jason McCullough would have got his block, we would have got a big chunk of yards.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So y'all like the design. What I say, I like it. All right. So this is the one I teased on Twitter a little bit. This is the first thing I want to talk about again is the formation. Stop it. Ooh.
You want to go back to the
back view?
Yeah, there's a quick little piece right there. All right, this formation, JT, I need you to just chime in on this from a defensive standpoint when you see this type of alignment. What are you
Yeah.
doing, particularly in the back end?
Yeah. So we've talked about in the past, there's way too many gaps, right? Because we're usually talking about A, B, C gaps, and then you got the D gap, which is just kind of the unwritten thing. But here you got A, B, C, D, E, F gap, and you're trying to figure out, okay, how are we gonna cover up these extra gaps right here? So what we've done, at least in my system, we've made what's called a knock call. That is NOC, meaning new offensive center. So what I'm actually telling our linebackers and our D line here is that this guy, I know he has the ball, and I know the quarterback is over this guy, but he's not the center anymore. This guy is the center now, and we're going to shift our alignment. We're actually going to put our nose, or we're actually going to put our 3 technique over here. Then we're gonna put our 1 over here. We're gonna have a 5 over here, or a 7 or whatever, and we're gonna walk down as many people on this side, and we're gonna shift the defensive line over here to handle all the rest of this. And the reason is because the way this is lined up right here, that is an entire offensive line.
And 5 of them over
Right?
there.
There's 5 guys over here. So if you make this guy or this guy the center, you can say this is guard, tackle, tight end, and then you can say this is guard, tackle, tight end, and we can handle it that way. It's not pretty. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it. I'm not even saying that's the right way to do it. I'm just saying that is a way to do it.
But then to me, they leave room for outside zone.
To the right or to the left?
To the left. I would go to the left and have that 3 technique come up field and put my foot in the ground and get 2 to 3 yards.
Well,
to the side, to the middle of the field. You're talking.
Yeah, he's saying going this way.
Yes, because with Rodell.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because that 3 technique that he talking about is going to get up field. And Rodell just gonna have to play big and fall because what 4th and 1 on this play?
Yeah,
4th and 1.
And I think that running outside zone with the defense that you just drew up, I think everybody having a man and everybody that's running that he will put his foot in the ground and get up field.
Yeah, and he should. And at the end of the day, I'm relying on my linebacker to fill it, which
and that's why I say he gonna have to get 2 to 3 rough yards.
Yeah.
And these are hard. My whole point of really trying to show this is that, as you guys can hear and see, is that there's a lot that has to go into this on how you actually line up. Because although this is a run, it don't mean you can't throw the ball.
Right.
With somebody, play actions or something. And so what I want to remind people is we showed you an unbalanced earlier with wide receivers. You got another unbalanced tier. These are things, that kind of set you up for, this is what drives JT crazy, right? Because you always got to have the what ifs. Now we've shown so many different type of unbalanced stuff over the course of the year. That's just more time and practice. You got to work on this stuff. Well, they might come out in this, and they might come out in this, and then they're going to be in their spread and their two. It's just a lot of stuff that people got to prepare for to try to stop this running game. This is all Tommy Rees. Would y'all agree with this? Is this what he was trying to get accomplished up in Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Tommy Rees likes to have his tight ends, all over the place. And here's, 2 tight ends and a fullback who I guess also plays tight end. Or that might be Oots. He might be a tight end. This might be all of their all the tight ends on the roster minus Amari Nyblack. But it's kind of funny though, because you have. I'm gonna see if I can do this. Back to this formation.
Ooh, look at JT with the flip.
This, believe it or not, I'm sure the answer is not. This is actually the same formation.
Right.
They just
swapped.
They just swapped out 3 fast dudes and put in 3 slow dudes and put them next to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Yep.
Agree.
Yep. And
Just
fourth and one. I thought it was great. You know, I didn't necessarily see it when I was watching it too. That's why I love to go back and kind of rewatch it and see it. I just think, you know, it's just another design. Now, unfortunately, it got called back because of the hold. If you can go ahead and run the play so they can actually see. Not that we need to focus on negative stuff, but you know, it's when you're taking angles. It's right there where you just kind of wrap really. I don't know. I guess you have to call it because he kind of spins him.
Yeah, I mean,
a
anytime
little
you hook
bit.
the guy, that's what you're gonna get. I mean, if you seal him, you just wall him off. You're okay.
So you're
but
saying, well, and where you have it at, I think, and I'm gonna say from a lineman or a tight end standpoint, I bet they're talking about footwork on this because he actually crossed over.
over. Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've heard Jonathan Scott say it. You don't block with your hands, you block with your feet.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm sure if he would have kept his base kind of wide and just kind of got into that guy, you would have had good results from it. Nice stick foot in the ground and head north. I thought that was a crucial play. Anyway, so there you have it, man. It was a great session for us. So Bo just gonna dip on us when we get
No,
to
that's my fault. That's my fault. He's here.
Oh, okay. Like, man, we ain't gonna tell him bye or anything. Because my, so I think this is a tremendous, Bo. I want to say thank you for all the insight that you always bring with these running games. There's so much stuff.
Nigga, my theme song.
I know you put a little boy there. That's that song you played when you ran that touchdown. You was talking about that 68 yards. That's what that played in stadium, baby. Yeah. So, hey, thank you guys for listening to Teague's Take. We always try to keep it live. We're gonna do. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just getting told that I was supposed to have Monica on the show, but my battery's about to die and I can't get her in here. So I'm going to have to record her in another time. But thank y'all. Subscribe, like. Mo, we hope to have you back on soon.
Yes, sir. Let me know. Peace.